Nassarawa coordinator of the MPP. He's here in the studio alongside Joseph Ni Adekoka, Kobna Adekoka. Okay, he's the chairman for NDC Greater Accra, and he's incumbent in the next election. They're about to run for the national executive position as well as the regional and constituency election that is going to take place. Okay, so how are you? How many people are running against you again? Have you lost count now?
Oh, I've lost count. You must be right.
Because I've tried counting myself. The last time it was 4. The last time was 4.
I think more are coming up, but it's good for democracy.
For election analysis, that is not good for those people. It's good for him, not good for
I had 7 people contesting.
That's why you won, I think. You know, when you have a lot of people contesting against you, means you will win.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, based on election analysis.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's start the discussions. But there's something brewing in Burkina Faso, and I want to first pick your minds on it. I have to start with you, sir.
Yes. Well, good morning.
Morning, sir.
And my brother, and all those watching us this morning. Today is a Good Friday. We must thank the Lord that He's given us a whole week with us surviving it. Burkina Faso. Last night I saw the pictures coming from the place. It was mind-boggling, you know. And the caption was the People's Coup, and I think African leaders always make us look as if in Africa we don't know when to quit. I'm told that Blaise Compaoré has been in power for 27 years. I think it's enough. 8 years, maximum another 12 years, I think, for a leader is enough. But 27 good years. I mean, by now, what else what do you want to do that you haven't been able to do it in the 27 years or so that you've been there?
He wants to impact the lives of his people.
For 27 years, I mean, he should be able to do that within a decade. I mean, you look at other countries, 10 years, there's a paradigm change. You look at Brazil, within 10 years, they were able to change their economy with the silver and this kind of people. And then they left, they moved on, you know. So I think, I believe for the parliamentary house to be bent down, that's the end of the democracy there.
Well, it's not totally bent, some parts.
But then it's a symbol, right? And that has given us empowered the people to move and say, we can overthrow him. I believe what he should do now is probably ask them that enough is enough. We don't want to see what happened to the Ivory Coast, where at the end of the day, you know, so many lives were lost. And now the president is in what do you call it?
It's in The Hague.
In The Hague, you know, we don't want him to end that way. At least he must be able to retire peacefully. So I believe he should quickly come around, call it quits, set up an interim arrangement, interim government, and let the people decide within the next few months or that the country must move on. I think he should be able at this stage to call it. But you know, Africans, you know, we don't know when to quit. And that's our problem.
Well, Roland, following the news yesterday, I said to myself, this time around is not going to be an Arab Spring. It's going to be Black Spring. Because, in fact, like my uncle Adekoka has rightly put it, African leaders must learn to at least leave power. What at all is on the seat that when you get there, 27 years down the line, you feel so much, you know, unprotected to leave the place, or when you leave the place? No, nothing is there. Truth is that yesterday I heard Blaise Compaoré having said he was imposing state of emergency. Again, he went further to say that he was concerned about who to come and take over after him and keep the country running the way he has run the country. That was some of the comments. You are not supposed to tell people, let people tell you that, yes, indeed, you have ameliorated our living standard, you have made us better, therefore, get someone. When you look at Brazil, when Da Silva was leaving, He brought Rusidov, or was the name? The lady. You understand? And they welcomed the lady overwhelmingly because he had a legacy left behind. If you sit here in Africa and your legacy left behind is about throwing people in jail, is about killing people, because I'm aware that one of the renowned journalists under the in Burkina Faso, Nobel Zongo, was killed as a result of this man's leadership. Mustafa Tombiano and Co, who wanted to talk about democracy and put radio stations, liberalize airwaves and all that, trying to get people informed, they were all gagged. Censorship is at its highest peak, no freedom of speech, nothing. And yet you say you are concerned about who to come and take over from you. You are the only person who has wisdom in that country. Our president has issued a statement that we, as a sub-regional body, would not countenance any coup d'etat or any unconstitutional takeover. I agree with him perfectly. However, they say justice emanates from the people. The people are those you are seeking to rule. The people say no. That is why we call it the people's coup. This coup, for me, to a very large extent, is constitutional.
Has it happened?
It has not. But where it has gone to, we are told, we are receiving reports. This morning I was monitoring it. I'm told he's in Senegal, some say he's in Togo, some say he was still in Burkina Faso. I want to say that he's in Wogia. His hometown is Wogia in Burkina Faso. I've been there severally. You understand? You go to Wogia, that's where he has his thing there. He may be there. But see, the point is that we are not happy. Whatever, you see, my fear even is that the coup there, or seeming coup there, if it does occur, we'll have people running to cross borders into our neighboring countries. We're going to have these effects. This time of Ebola, we are not too sure how we're going to monitor this. We should be afraid. There's a whole regional insecurity for all of us. And I think that we should actually be concerned about the happenings in Burkina Faso.
When we're likely to have influx.
Absolutely.
If we have
some running to Bamako, some running to La Côte d'Ivoire, some running to Togo, some running to Ghana. These are the borders of Burkina Faso. And all of us are already afraid. We are preparing ourselves towards this Ebola thing. May God forbid it never comes to Ghana anyway. But then if these things happen, of course we're going to have cross-border, movements. And some of these things we are at risk and all that. But by and large, what I would like to say is that I'm going to admonish the ECOWAS leaders, especially our president who's the chairman or the chairperson of ECOWAS. Speak to Blaise Compaoré. Let him understand that, look, the very people that you're seeking to rule are the very people who decide for you. Now, if you don't do what is right, it's going to worry us. Again, to end with on this matter, what is happening in Burkina Faso tells every leader that law, no matter how small it is, must not be disregarded. So when you have a pension regulatory act sitting there,
we'll talk about
I'm coming. I'm just talking about something. No, I'm trying to make a very important point. Very important point. When you have a very nice law sitting there, and the law tells you this is the framework, don't try to disregard the law and do otherwise and incur the wrath of the people. Because that is what is happening. You go to Parliament and want to tell Parliament that, look, change the law so I can run again. The law is already the law. Do the right thing.
I get your point, but in the context of the pension, are you saying people will rise up because
no, we only have people are already up. People are They're on strike.
Okay.
People have risen up already.
Okay,
and they're even calling for more demonstration on that. Anyway, so I think that law must never be disregarded.
Why is the opposition so happy about people going on strike?
We'll talk about pension, please. Now, seriously, on the subject of what we're talking about, Burkina Faso, we're told that the army, they came in and said there will be a transitional government, a transitional body for the next 1 year. Now, the question we're all asking is that following the statement by Blaise Compaoré after that on the private radio station, while they made their own on a state radio station, which according to Radha Kwesieni speaks volumes about what control he has and has not, is it that as head president you tend to disregard your surveillance feedback, etc., because you tend to get intelligence and know that the people are not happy, they may be doing things around. So is it that you disregard it because you feel sometimes you're overwhelmed with power?
You see, when you stay there for a very long time, you begin to think you are invisible.
Okay.
And that has happened across all dictatorships where presidents have been overthrown spontaneously. You see, what we saw yesterday was a spontaneous act. All of a sudden, the people came out because it's been brewing for a very long time. But the invisibility that you have acquired for yourself, they will come on, you disregard them. Right? Because
it means that you're not in touch with the people.
Yeah, you lose, no, 27 years, Roland, you are going to lose that. 27 years, you have an awe that your security, everything, and you know the African, I mean, they always want to play to your mind, you know. They come and say, oh, all is good. Hypocrisy. You know, you know what? Oh, chairman. Oh, you have won. Oh, Nuri. you know, all those kind
it's
of.
It's good revelation.
No, this is Africa for us. You know, those of us who say as it is, right? Then you have a problem because when they tell, look, this is not good. It's going to end you in this direction. You have a problem. So what you always have to play the gallery, and then at the end of the day. There's a saying in our language that se erodowa ka ohun ona ose erodowa the person that's right. So you don't, so that's the problem. I believe that once the army have come on the state radio station and said this, then it means that the man is effectively gone. He's gone.
So no matter what he'll say, he's only trying to hold on to the power that is not available to him.
Because if you were in charge, this morning since dawn broadcast, you should appear on television and say, I am Blaise Compaoré, I'm here, blah, 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 blah. This man must do this man must do that. Yeah, I'm in control. But like my brother is saying...
The state even media, he has no access now.
Yeah.
He was speaking through a private
radio station. That's what
the radio stations that you don't, if you didn't even want to set up. Now that is where your mouthpiece...
That's what I'm alluding to. Now, you don't even know whether it's in... Burkina Faso, is in Senegal, or is in what kind. It means it's gone. I mean, the next 48 hours are very crucial. Now, 24 hours, today will be 24 hours. The next 24 hours is a very crucial period. By Monday, you will see what the situation is. But now, once the people have come out and they're on the street, and no, there's no turning back. There's no turning back.
But it was a 5-year term, and he wanted to add an extra 5 years.
Yes, it was a 5-year term.
It means that, is it that now, within the current geopolitics of the continent, people, because of the consolidation of democracy, will not allow any...
No, because before my brother comes in, you see, because in those days, you had the Cold War.
Yes.
The Cold War, the East and the West. So immediately, you have...
The atmosphere was...
One power block coming to support you.
But so now nobody will.
Now nobody is coming. Now there's hot war, no more Cold War.
Because Russia,
they are always in trouble. So you can continue, my brother.
I made a point here the last time. I remember some few weeks ago. I said, look, people are awakened when it comes to affairs of politics in Africa now. 10 years ago, people like us we had nothing to say in politics. Today, the young ones, the emergence of information technology has gotten people awakened the more, and they understand the nuances that goes on in governance. So it's not this time that you can take people for granted. I am not surprised with the posturing of the military, who are purportedly supposed to be supporting the president, now going to support the people. Because you see, the fact is that almost everybody is aware that the people on the ground are those who wield the power. It's no more those at the top. So that fear for people at the top has vanished, or is vanishing gradually. It will come to a time, I tell you, the way in manner you speak, the way in manner you talk to the people, you appeal to them, will give you the power that they so much desire to give you. But it is not your energy, it is not whatever you have. Now, Blaise Compaoré, yes, I must confess that I know the country very well, and I know how, in fact, security-wise, he's very conscious.
That's also because he stayed in power for a long time.
Most of the gendarmeries, most of the police are people from his place. That's what Blaise Compaoré has done. The Ogia, the Moses, and whatever are those he has used. You understand?
Yesterday, some of them deserted the army.
No, they did that because, like I said, the strength of the masses is huge. You understand? So what can I do to shield? That's what it was strategic. But the truth is that he was actually on top of issues when it comes to security. But for the people now, the ground that he disrespected, coming out now, pouring, over 1,500 people, I were told, rushed to the parliament house. 1,500, huge.
That's huge.
Rushed to the parliament house, and they were able to get us. You can't stop them. Now the military seeing this will say, these people can't control them. It's better we go with them and then forget of the president. That is how come your man got apprehensive and ran away. If not, if it is about security, the man was very good. You go to Tankurugo borders, you go to Paga borders, you go towards Sukasu borders and those two towards this. They are Moses that he has used for gendarmerie and military. And strong people. You understand? He's not using the Bobo Lassos, the Wangares, and then the other people. He uses more the Maurice and his own. But this cannot pay now. The point is that if the voice of the people speak, the voice of God has spoken. And you will have a problem and you will live with it. It is a signal to all African leaders, those especially who are willing to do anything to be in power, either through rigging election or through trying to twist the arms of the law and do whatever you want to do to suit you. It is about time we learn that the people, of course, are awake and know what is happening. We should all watch it. God forbid this will never happen in Ghana. However, manipulations of elections is a signal to tell us that we should be careful.
Yeah, you're always insinuating.
You see, some of these things, they say when
they are prophetic. They are prophetic. Yes, when your neighbor's beer is burning.
In Ghana,
2008, we saw Adikoko and Co. wielding machetes at
where?
Hugely. We didn't not agree. 2008. We saw because they were in opposition for 2 times. You see, and when when a party is in opposition for 2 times, I tell you, the number of people who are energized to fight for the power.
So you're energized.
If you are incumbent and you are not careful.
Are you energized?
I am.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Let's change the subject. No. Isn't this thing? There's another subject that's coming that's going to also breed all this. Please, government has submitted fresh proposals for labor.
Adekoka.
No, sir.
We will not do that.
Come on.
I've kept quiet.
Come on, let's talk.
No, he always